Welcome everyone to a casted game for Age of Empires 4, and today spawning in the southeast corner of the map, playing in red, we've got Beastyqt playing as the Chinese, and his opponent in the northwest playing in blue, hailing in from Russia, it is Deterministic playing as the Rus. Welcome everyone to Lipany. Hope you guys are having a great morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Now you might be wondering, how do I know it's Beasty? We know it's Beasty because Random is Beasty's account where he's playing random civilizations, looking to go for that top one spot on the rank ladder, looking to get there purely by going random civilizations. Today he's up against Deterministic, who is hailing in from Russia playing as the Rus. And he's a top 60 player, so should be able to put a bit of a fight. Hopefully, we should hopefully see a great game today. The Rus versus the Chinese. I think it's going to be a fine one because two civilizations that do prioritize the mid to late game. You know, very booming kind of approaches for the Chinese, Song Dynasty, sometimes two town centers, not always, but sometimes. And the Rus, with a great economy behind them, can put a lot of military pressure on early on as well. Kind of excited to see this matchup. Of course, both players are going to be going for that little mini game, looking to try and get as much deer and hunt and, well, basically bounty as much as possible. And I wonder whether Deterministic will go for a Dark Age wheelbarrow. It can often be achieved pretty quickly and get that eco running and rocking. See another scout popping out for Deterministic. On the other side of things, the Chinese have a couple of options that they can play Song Dynasty into two town centers if they want to go for the sort of booming approach, great economy focus on that. But we have seen something a little bit different these days with the Chinese. They have opted a lot for going just one town center Song Dynasty. They get the village good booming out there, better than most other civilizations on one town center. But then they can also focus on the castle age, which I think is a really nice play actually, because you do then start to prioritize the relics, which have a longer lasting effect on the game. Get those relics in the bag, and then, well, I mean, you get constant source of gold for the rest of the game, and obviously you deny it from your opponent too. So I think we may potentially see just one town center Song Dynasty from Beasty. Obviously, no way of knowing until we see it. On the other side of things, the Rus typically do open second town center, and they can get a very good castle age time behind that anyway. So quite likely to be able to get Kremlin and in a forward position on the gold, and then look to get a second town center potentially. We'll have to see. Now, I'd like to say a very big thank you for everyone who's been supporting the channel. You guys are absolute legends. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I gotta say, like, the support has been fantastic. We've been growing a lot on YouTube side of things as well as Twitch. So very, very happy about that. Very thankful for that. If you guys have been enjoying the casts on YouTube, that is, make sure you do subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next one. Because, of course, that will hopefully help me get some sponsorships in the future as well. Maybe we'll have to see. It'll help me keep on doing this really good hobby that we've got so far, but currently doing it sort of mainly, I guess, part-time we could call it. Maybe we could do a bit more consistently. That's the dream. And everyone tuning in on Twitch today, welcome on in. Hope you guys are doing well. Wastron says the White Tower rush works very well. Okay, that's been a bit of a controversial. Oh, that's a bit of controversial stuff there with the villagers not gathering food. Need that, Beastie. It's going to run out of... Is he running out... Wait, Deterministic, is he running out of sheep here? We should be on the village account. But, there's only one carcass there. That's going to run out pretty quickly. But yeah, oh, there we go. There's more sheep coming in. It's saved. It does have that early wheelbarrow, Deterministic now as well, so the eco will be good, but it's going to be a bit delayed to get to that feudal age. I think he may have, yeah, he didn't have a sheep for a while. Either way, yeah, Wastron saying in the chat that the White Tower rush from the English has been a bit of a talking point recently, because I did release a video on how I got to conquer level 2 with it, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, but there are lots of ways to stop it, mainly scouting. And as soon as you see the villagers move out from the English, make sure you get in your units to try and counteract them, or at least intercept them some way to stop that White Tower going up. Once the White Tower goes up, it's pretty tricky actually, the game, so you got to be careful about it. It's going to be the Beastie going up with the Barbican of the Sun in the southwest, and in that stealth forest as well. So I mean, that's going to be cornering off a lot of the deer camp, right? Which is actually quite nice because there's no other way around it. So that Barbican of the Sun placement is absolutely awesome. It's going to secure 2 deer packs and also the wood line. Interestingly, he actually opted for the Barbican of the Sun first rather than the Imperial Academy. Speaking of which, that is going to be placed now. And he should be able to pop out a couple more Imperial officials. Going to go for the deer camp now, as I seem. I guess he's going to go for the deer camp first, actually, yeah. Interesting enough, he wants the food. Maybe he's going to go for the boar first, actually. He's probably going to put it into the Barbican, right? So it's actually a really nice spot for it. Kremlin going up on the forward gold. And then likely a second town centre, of course, because of the stone income coming on in. That's going to scale that economy very nicely for the Rus. There's the boar being pulled on in. Sacrificing a bit of HP with the Imperial Official. We've got to be careful about this one. Wait, what's going on? Okay. He's tanking, he's tanking. This is a bit dicey. Okay, he's sorting it out. It's Beastie after all. Unlikely to lose anything there. Oh, speaking of losing something, deterministic. Got to be careful with that scout. Just about survives, but won't be able to make it this way through. There's no way out of there. He's going to die a painful death. And the second town centre, I wonder where he's going to put this down, actually. The deer camps are really far away from him. It really doesn't suit him. The map spawned pretty decent here for Beastie on Lipany. Oh, there goes the scout. Bye-bye. Does have 2 back golds and a stone. This is a kind of crazy part of the base, right? Everything here, 2 stones, 2 golds. It's just food that's kind of a problem for the Rus. And that's going to be pretty bad, actually, because the Rus will want to try and get plenty of food to get to the castle age, but more importantly, also maybe some units. Just going to go for the second town set on the deer camp and the gold. So we're going to keep that nicely well protected. At least you have 1 deer camp kind of protected. To be fair, the boar is pretty close as well. It's an interesting map spawn for Lipany, I've got to say, because on Lipany you can expect some long games, but when you do have key resources quite close to each other, like this, if they can be gathered up, it quickens things up for sure. Now, Chinese versus the Rus, as the game does go to the mid game, it's going to be a challenge for the relics, but I'm kind of interested to see what the late game is going to be like. You got the Rus, which often do go up with the high armory for the cheaper siege. But then you got the Chinese with the better quality siege in some ways, with the extra HP on them for the astronomical clock tower. Make no mistake, that is a big, big bonus that they get. It does definitely look like it's going to be a slow-paced opening to this game, but what we do know with Age of Empires 4 is when the two players do start to boom with villagers, it means things do tend to heat up a little bit later on. Song Dynasty, of course, in play for Beastyqt for quite some time, but looks like he's going to go for the castle age behind this, although he's got no one on gold just yet. Let's go to second town centre, actually. There we go. Villagers on stone. So it'll be a Song Dynasty, 2 town centre. Kind of understandable when you go up against the Rus. The Rus very, very often go 2 town centres. It's just something that they do, so the Chinese will not want to fall behind. Going to be moving out to even a 3rd town centre here, the Rus. That's kind of unexpected in terms of playstyle, but deterministic. He believes in his mid to late game, and that's what we're going to be seeing today. Both players going for it. Massive villager boom. It makes a lot of sense, right? Because the Rus won't want to fall behind because of the Song Dynasty. 2 town centres for the Chinese versus 2 town centres of the Rus is just not equal because of the Song Dynasty. The Rus going to try and combat that a little bit with their 3rd town centre. Walling up extensively as well. Beastie does not want to be harassed here on the west side. And it's going to be placing a 2nd town centre relatively close by. We get some kind of interesting placement, actually. He wants to protect this area, this entrance here on the right side as well. So it'll be a good static defense in a way. Going to be walling up as well. Speaking of static defenses, both players really starting to corner off their sides of the map. Beastie more so with the walls. The 3rd town centre now is up and running for deterministic. How's it going there, Tobias? Hope you're doing well, buddy. Welcome on in on Twitch chat side of things. Yeah, both players now looking to make a play for the castle age. Although, he's adding him in another town centre. Okay, well, it's just town centre. I mean, I keep saying they're making a play for the castle age. I mean, the Rus certainly are, but the Chinese Beastie wants yet another town centre. Not seen a game like this for a long time. No aggression coming out for both players just yet. As we said earlier, it means that they're going to be building up to something. I mean, at this rate, by the way, with the multiple town centers being placed, it's either going to lead to a very, very heavy castle age with them kind of both going crazy at it and pumping out units, or it could mean that they go for a fast-ish imperial age behind it. Kind of curious to see which one it will be. Now, it does feel like the Rus should get to the castle age a little bit quicker. Maybe look to challenge those relics, especially considering the warrior monks are a bit faster on their feet. Interesting to see how many of them he actually ends up getting. And speaking of which, by the way, 2 relics here at one screen. This is something that is going to be hotly contested, for sure. Beastie's got one pretty safe behind his walls, of course, so no real chance for the Rus getting that. And the Rus got these 2 at the back, so these 2 are going to be the ones that contested on the sacred site in the south. And there's that Beastie 3rd town centre. Now, because that 3rd town centre is going to chew up a lot of food, by the way. Song Dynasty with them as well. Means it should be pretty far away from that castle age. Speaking of castle age, deterministic. Probably going to be clicking there soon. Now, the question is, what did go up? Well, what does go up with it? I mean, it makes a lot of sense to go to the High Trade House, but I wonder if he wants the timing here. We haven't seen the Abbey of Trinity in a very long time. Unlikely to see it. The High Trade House just offers so much value. Not so much, I mean, first of all, it does give you passive gold, which is fantastic, but more importantly, it slowly helps you get to that bounty system, and you get the full 500, increases the village gather rate a very, very nice amount. Actually gets a first knight out, just to put some pressure on as well if you can, but Beastie pretty much more or less walled up. Just one entrance point here, but you don't really want to be running in with just one knight. Scout in the north. Just going to be poking and prodding just to see what's happening here for Beastie. Get some intel. Going to be adding in that blacksmith. So the timing here a little bit skewed because the Roost don't actually have enough gold. You know, producing that knight did spend some food, but it's gold that he's struggling on. This TC on gold on food got that deer count very quickly. Now he must have survival techniques, right? Yeah, survival techniques really increases the rate at which you gather meat from the deer. Let's see how well it's worked out for him. It does also have the potential to maybe get the boar later on. I'm surprised he didn't take that just yet. It does have a knight to kind of drag him in with, but he wants to use a knight to be a bit more aggressive with it. I gotta say though, I feel like deterministic with the lack of balance on gold, it does mean he's missed out a lot of opportunities to get these 2 relics, I gotta say. I mean, actually, overall considered, I think Beastie might get to the castle age first. That shows you the macro balance that the super top players like Beastie have. He's done it perfectly, hasn't he? Keeps pumping out knights. I mean, he's got plenty of food to spend, to be fair. Gonna be charging on in. And we'll stop out a villager, which is a nice start. Of course, a bit behind on the villager count because of the Song Dynasty 3-town centre. Not that it matters losing a couple of villagers here and there for Beastie, really. What Deterministic will not want to do is lose his knights, which is actually got a kind of serious risk of doing, because they're pretty well trapped in now. And it will be the High Trade House for the Roos. Going to be building it up. Quick time, 19 villagers. Now, when Beastie does look to try and put that landmark down, he'll be able to build it very fast, of course. Leveraging the Chinese bonus of building structures faster. Oh, trying the trap here, Beastie. I don't think he'll quite manage it in the end. Might lose a villager instead, actually. No, yeah, I mean, he doesn't commit to it. I mean, okay, he's going to commit to it, and he should get one village at least. He's going to back away. There's that castle age now for the Roos. Now looking to maybe get the monastery. In fact, does he actually place the monastery instantly? There it is. Yeah, there it is. Right next to the High Trade House. Makes a lot of sense. A good thing for the knights here, whilst they're not necessarily killing... Well, to be fair, they've killed a couple of villagers, to be fair, but it's mostly causing the Chinese to stay at home with the spears, which is ideal. How's it going, Bilal Webb? Happy doing well, buddy, in Twitch chat. He has brought in the boar, so he's going to have plenty of food coming on in. I could make an argument for making a double monastery just to get there a little bit quicker, but he's stuck with one for now. The knights get all chewed up on that wood line. In the end, kind of expected to see that happening. Just running out of options of places to go. Of course, the Chinese now in the castle stage with the astronomical clock tower. Quite like to get a monastery down. There it is. The problem for the Roos, actually, it just doesn't have many units, right? The ability to be able to, mass produce units like this for the Chinese is going to give them a massive advantage. Looks quite likely that Beastie might end up having access to these 2 relics. It's got a couple of archers, a couple of crossbowmen. With this number of melee units, he might be able to brute force his way. He might just charge this down, right? Yeah, it looks like he's going to try and do that. Going to retreat behind the walls, but Deterministic shouldn't really be able to have access to the relics anymore. The one monk for Beastie is likely to pick those relic up, possibly starting with this one first. Unfortunate there for Deterministic in a way, but he missed out his timing, right? And he might even lose a warrior monk for free. He does, more or less. He's to back away, draws upon the militia to help on in. Scout trapped in there for Beastie. Slowly torching his way out, but yeah, having the militia is going to be quite helpful here. Beastie feels like he doesn't necessarily have to fight this, but yeah, he's going to back away for now. Don't think it would have been a good engagement to continue fighting on that. Especially with these militia being on a timer 25 seconds before they die. I mean, he's getting engaged. This is actually a great fight here for the militia and the Rus. It's not often you see this, right? Like, generally you want to run away from these militia if you can. Beastyqt decided to engage instead and buy a bit more time for him. It does have the nest of bees, which is going to be tricky for the Rus to deal with. Now, what I love about the Chinese civilization, and the Ottomans in a way, the fact that they get a heavy focus on quick siege in the castle age forces the enemies to react, right? So we can already see the siege workshop being placed by the Rus. Something that they have to do. In response, oh, a massive nest of bees shot. No, deterministic needs to get out of there, but those veteran archers, oh god, they've lost a lot of HP. The outpost now on the berries just to give that little bit extra protection for Beastyqt. With good kiting, you should be able to whittle down the numbers. Where are these villagers off to if they're deterministic? Where are they off to? Hello? Okay, it's going to get for an interesting wooden fortress position, actually. I mean, to be fair, it will actually help protect these two wood lines. I quite like it. Like, it doesn't seem like it's going to be doing a lot. Maybe not now, but it's going to be a bit of an annoying thing for Beast to deal with, right? Because this is the wood line that he's on, and that's going to be expiring before too long. Now venturing out onto berries. There's a couple of villagers trickling on gold, on stone, by the way, Beastyqt, so should be able to afford to keep the next sort of 5-10 minutes. As I say, they sends another 15 or so, another 12 to make 15, just to rush up a keep. Yeah, Beastyqt with 3 of the relics already in the bank. Surprised to see that the Rus haven't quite picked up these two just yet either. Something he'll want to do. We're starting to head on out. Added in some palace guards, so heavy infantry play here for the Rus, for the Chinese rather. The Rus are going to have to deal with it. Good number of crossbows added in as well. Now I wonder whether the Rus will go for mass siege themselves, because that possibly would lend them to a good position against all this mass infantry. He's opted for a double mangonel. Well, the Rus just extending their walls a little bit. Does have the 2 sacred sites. Is he possibly thinking about a sacred site victory? That could be an option for him, actually. Because whilst this kind of narrow entrance to the base kind of suits Beastyqt in terms of having me able to protect those 2 deer camps, in a way it makes it a bit more tricky to venture out to the sacred site. We'll have to see how he plays this one out. Yeah. Now it does have the veteran, well, the regular knight upgrades. So it's got the castle age units. Pretty even in terms of numbers, in terms of military count. Obviously, of course, the Chinese a little bit ahead, courtesy of the Song Dynasty. Added in a couple of man-at-arms. Mostly heavily armoured units here, and crossbows. Kind of a similar sort of army composition, I've got to say. Palace guards matching the man-at-arms, crossbows versus the crossbows, a couple of nest of bees versus the mangonels. He has added in a couple of springles though, so if deterministic can get a really good initial engagement, that could be important here. If he can take out the nest of bees and then make the fight work for him there, that could be important. How you doing, Arakan? How you doing, Portuguese? Welcome on in. Let's set now the Rus looking to get a keep on a forward position. Maybe on this sacred site. We have to see how really he wants to commit to that. He's now starting to pick up the first of the 2 relics he has access to. We're getting to the point where, before any sort of major battles happen, both players have already got up to 200 population. That's kind of what we talked about, right? If it is passive at the early stage of the game, you can, you know, be rest assured that it's going to quicken up, and we're about to see that quickening up right now. Beastyqt just stonewalling on the east side, starting to torch down as well. Both went for the same sort of position, right? They want the gold, and that's actually kind of a key detail in this map. Gold spawn-wise, in terms of neutral golds, it does look like it favours here deterministic quite significantly. This area here, getting control of this is massive. Beastyqt might run out of gold in terms of gathering. He's got plenty in the bank for now, though. As the mangonels deploy, needs to be careful here with the springles. Needs to pay attention. Nest of bees about to fire off. Hello, wakey, wakey. He's going to start taking out the nest of bees now. And there's no way Beastyqt can stop that, really. Mangonels deploy. Beastyqt loses a bit, despite being on a spread formation. Palace Guard's going to rush on in. He doesn't get the block on the mangonel, so loses 1. Quite likely about to lose a 2nd, but Beastyqt has lost quite a lot of military, and the keep does go up. That's the main thing. Gives him a good, strong foothold here. Another mangonel shot before it dies on in, but needs to keep those springles alive if he can, because he will not want to lose those for sure. It's a big advantage he has here, the Rus. He's going to win this fight pretty well. Fighting underneath the keep is not ideal for Beasty. 15 villages are idle underneath the keep inside the keep, but it's not a big deal. Definitely getting its value worth. Beasty might need to start to transition into siege to try and get this keep down, but with what gold? That's kind of a bit of a problem. Like, he wants to get gold, this gold here, I guess. It's going to be an important one. Like, this map generation is kind of awkward. The two 8,000 tiled gold veins here in the middle of the map. Well, this kind of really isn't in the middle. That's what's hurt Beasty quite a bit in this map spawn. So whilst Beasty got a good map generation in terms of food, in terms of gold, not so much. Deterministic, creating a bit of a labyrinth. He doesn't want Beasty inside anytime soon. Understandably so. He's starting to put some pressure. The keep will go up in the end for Beasty. A couple of villages will go down. Wait. Wait, the villagers. Hello. Okay, deciding not to garrison the side just yet. And what's the outpost for the extra vision? I wonder whether there's going to be any forward siege workshops being dropped here for Deterministic. The Ashnor clocked out in a really good spot to get those reinforcements out quickly. It's a bit of a trek for the Rus siege. Certainly, siege is what the Rus are going to need. He's broken through in the end. Oh god, okay, I was expecting those walls to have gone up, but he didn't prioritize this, and it's been made to pay. He's going to be able to deactivate that sacred site. That's actually kind of unfortunate, right? Because he has 7 minutes on the clock. Ah, small differences there, guys. If he managed to get that small palisade wall up, it would have been a big difference here. High armory, though. Going to be coming up with the Imperial Age for the Rus. Going to be benefiting from the cheaper siege. Definitely going to be important to get access to. The Chinese are not that far away themselves from the Imperial Age. Let's give me the Great Wall Gatehouse. Villagers repairing as quickly as they can. They need some help, though. Going to send the crossbows, which does leave this position a little bit more exposed. He continues to try and wall up, which unfortunately won't happen. So Beasty's kept him open on the right side. I mean, he's got to address this, right? He's got to address this. What that allows is Beasty's farming transition to be beautiful. Take a look at that. Getting the Great Wall Gatehouse in front of it to protect as well. Holy moly, you got to love the farms here, guys. Absolutely beautiful. And those farms going to give him an impressive 2,400 food per minute and climbing, by the way. Both players getting to the Imperial Age at a relatively similar time. And what's kind of crazy is that the stone walls here means that food economy should be safe for a very long time for Beasty. It's going to be hard for him to do significant damage. Sometimes you can try and raid your enemy to death, and that's going to be tricky for Deterministic to do, to get into the corner of the map like that. On the other hand, the farming transition, a little bit awkwardly positioned at times and not hugely well protected, not as protected as the Chinese do have, of course. So it does set up things quite nicely for Beasty in the late game. But what's kind of amazing is he's still got access to this gold, right? Having access to these 2 golds is huge. And Beasty, well, he's struggling for gold, right? We said he had a bit of a bank of gold, but a lot of that's been spent to get to the Imperial Age, and now he's only at 260. Village is being sent forward now. He wants that gold. He's going to get to keep down that position. Bombard comes out for the Chinese. It's something that the Rus have to deal with. They've got plenty of spring ores. He might be able to snipe this, actually. Is it going to be enough to one-shot? I'm not so sure. They don't all fire off at the same time anyway. Insufficient stone for the repairs. It's going to be turning into a bit of a spring-old fight, which the Rus should win, actually. Although, he doesn't have... Yeah, okay, he will win it in the end. Mangonels deploy, and he's trying to take out as much of that front line as he possibly can here, Beasty, but it's kind of running out of steam here, the Rus. He's going to have to be careful about this. And the keep is less than 50% HP. That's going to be a tricky one. He might need to actually trade in for some stone to repair if he can. Palace Guard's going to ride on in and try and take out as many of the villages on gold as he can. Good number of crossbows. Added in a couple of Streltsy as well. That's going to be maybe the show-stopping unit. The Chinese do have access to the hand cannoneers with extra range, which could be powerful, but if this keep goes down, well, Beasty might get a bit more of a foothold in the game again. I think that keep might just go down again. We've got Bombard. Can snipe that out. It's going to be ideal, but the repair's just coming in. He's running out of stone, though. He needs to buy if he can. I think the keep will go down next hit. There it goes. The repair's coming out for Beasty. Trying to keep that one alive. He's doing a good job of it. But the Streltsy probably needs to focus on the villages if he can. He will lose a couple of villages, but he's got plenty of villages to lose here, Beasty. He won't mind that at all. As long as he keeps the Bombard alive and kicking. Mangonel's about to deploy a good number of crossbows though for the Rus. Needs to be careful not to lose this Mangonel if he can. It would be an expensive loss, albeit being cheaper from the high armory. The Bombard just keeps on staying alive. The rate of repair, absolutely crazy. Gonna try and take out the wooden fortress. Probably likely to fall, but he's still mining the gold. By the time that Beastie gets there, he would have mined at least half of it. Bit of a meat grinder here in the middle. But if the Streltsy numbers start to climb, that would favour the Rus, of course, in a big way. Looking to take this keep down. Beastie has plenty of stone in the back to repair if he wants to. The walls still haven't been finished here, by the way, so it could be a bit of a sneaky attack at some point for Beastie if he so wishes. Going to go for the Imperial Palace. Going to unlock the Yuan Dynasty, which is going to be fantastic, by the way. Increasing the movement speed of the infantry will help them gap close on the siege. Will help them raid as well. Palace Guards, you know, the heavily armoured unit's not necessarily always considered as a great raiding unit, but actually Palace Guards, how fast they can go. It might be a nice feature for Beastie to go raid on the right side. But having lost the keep, he's still struggling to get access to this gold here, Beastie, or at least deny it. And the Rus economy looking strong. I mean, despite the number of farms, Beastie's finding it difficult to really spam out units. Although he's got plenty of food coming on in, but it's just the case that they're dying quicker than they're being made. And speaking of which, the food is looking pretty solid for the Rus, all things considered. It doesn't look as neat at the farms here for the Rus, but boy oh boy are they efficient. Working well for the Rus at the moment. He's mined out the gold. This is where it's going to become tricky, right? Because the Rus are still camped out here. I love the Palisade Wall addition, actually. This is actually kind of huge, because the Rus Palisade Wall's significantly stronger. 2,500 HP on those guys. And he's slowly making a push for here. But yeah, the raidings start coming on in. Now, he could just walk through, but he wants to go a bit more of a direct route and burn down. Yeah, he figures it out now and decides, let's not waste time. Let's just go through. Imperial Palace will be giving Beastie a huge amount of range of vision to see what's coming his way. But the thing is to consider here now, if Beastie does make his way through, looks to get a keep, this is something the Rus have to address. They can't just let this go. He's trying to wall up, but it won't be coming in quick enough, I don't think. Not with the Palace Guards there. Plenty of villagers going through. Holy smokes, he really is committing to this. He wants his gold big time. Plenty of production there for Beastie. And that keep goes up super fast, by the way. The villager building speed for the Chinese is incredible. So Beastie will have access to gold once again. But this is a bit concerning for Beastie, because he's focused his attention with Palace Guards in the north. And sure, he's secured the gold, but he's lost a lot of positioning in the center. And slowly but surely, the Rus are pushing on in. Takes out the keep. Possibly going to take out production buildings. And also, actually, to be fair, the landmarks. He's possibly going to go for landmark snipe. That could be an option. I'll tell you what's not an option for deterministic, though, is just to ignore this. He needs a keep. He needs something. He's going for it. He's going for the palisade walls in front of the bombards as well, just to help them out, protect them a little bit. Plenty of horsemen, plenty of Streltsy. Beastie's going to have to try and have a hard hold here. Does have fire lancers, elite fire lancers at that. Going to try and get on top of the bombards. He can't quite manage it. The body blocking coming in from the Streltsy, and the Streltsy should chew them up. He's doing just that. And this is the clock tower. Massive fight here in the middle, which the Streltsy should be able to win in the end, but the reinforcements coming on in. Defender's advantage certainly there for Beastie, but he's starting to struggle to mass produce units. Look at the units coming out for the Rus, it's absolutely incredible. Tell you what though, Palace Guards are broken on through, so maybe the units won't be coming out as fast as the economy starts to get idled. The question is, how does Beastie navigate this? He does have a couple of landmarks remaining. 3 more that the Rus will have to take care of. Getting more walls just to solidify the positioning and make sure there's a good positioning that Beastie will find difficult to push back from. Going for the gold on the back as well, so we've got plenty of access to gold, but the problem for deterministic, these farms are all idled. He's got to somehow secure that area, but he doesn't want to let up on the push down the middle, so it's understandable. And the Streltsy holding that back line. There's not much of a front line though, so if the Streltsy get taken out, I mean, they're pretty exposed at this stage, and so the push might start to slow down pretty significantly. Militia have been drawn in for the Rus, but they're finding it difficult to deal with the Palace Guards running around. 22 villagers are idle, by the way, for the Rus. Still got 144 villagers here, Beastie. Struggling to make a military, though. That's the concern for him. Now, landmark-wise, he does still have the Imperial Academy. He does still have the Great Wall Gatehouse. He does still have the Barbican in the south. He's added in these elite palace guards to the raid. Streltsy looking to defend, but that keeping that forward position, those farms. I mean, I don't think you can deny this, but Beastie will lose a significant number of villagers doing this. Now, it does force the Rus having to address that, though. The Beastie is going to lose his production capabilities if the Rus head in that position. Only one bombard, though, so it will take some time. The keep is up. A lot of farms are being idled out. The village is moving out again. He's going to try and mine this stone and get another keep, potentially. Definitely on a mission. Maybe he's going for that gold. I mean, could you imagine that? Mining your own enemy's back gold? Beastie, he wants to get gold any way he can. He's struggling for it. All of a sudden, Beastie is starting to hold down in the middle. Deterministic finding it difficult to maintain the push. He's had to put some resources around the back. Look at that keep in that position. Oh no, Deterministic. Not having the static defenses at home has meant that these villagers just walked on by, and he's going to get access to these golds. And oh no, Deterministic, he's running out of steam. And how does he deal with this? Doesn't have access to gold anymore. Strelt's going to head there, but he can't really run into the keep. Maybe he tries to deny at least Beastie getting the gold. That's possibly an option. Has a bombard at home to deal with that keep in the north, but he's got another one to deal with. Meanwhile, Beastie's going to be mopping up this gold quick time with 22 villagers. And the push in the front for Deterministic has kind of stalled out a little bit. Bear in mind, these farms being at the back of the base has helped Beastie so much. Like, imagine these farms were in the middle of the base and they're being idle right now. Kind of like how Deterministic's ones were. That's been the big game changer. But Beastie coming in with forward keeps with the Chinese. The build speed makes it so achievable. But here comes the bombard. Yeah, 4,500 food per minute. He's got food coming out of his ears. The Chinese today will not starve. Well, I haven't said that. He doesn't have much of a bank of resources, does he? He's just spending everything. Kind of crazy. Slowly but surely, the gold position will be lost. It's probably worth it in the end, though, because Beastie's at 200 population. He gathered quite a decent amount of gold. Villages now will be lost. It was a crazy game of Age of Empires. Elite Horsemen can be raiding as much as they possibly can. Bear in mind, Deterministic is down to 97 villagers, so that economy, if this game persists like this, Beastie will be looking in a good spot. But there does have significant idle villagers now. Things have slowed down a little bit. Now we can start to focus a bit more in the middle again. But so can Beastie. Look how many resources he's floating, and look how many units he's got. When I say floating, he can't spend it, can he? He just doesn't know what to do with it. He's got way too many resources that he can spend. Wait, oh no. He never actually addressed this Deterministic. So it looks like it's going to go for a second keep. Oh my god. This just delays things so much for Deterministic. And it's going to ride around. It's going to ignore the army down the middle. He's created a bit of a playpen for himself. He won't lose the bombard, only just though. He will lose these bombards if they're not careful. He backs away. He's got a lot of bombards. Those villagers though being attacked. And he's going to lose access to gold once again. Streltsy should be able to deal with it. But he's caused a little bit of damage here, Beastie, for sure. He's got plenty of resources to keep producing new units. And the bombards, of course, they vacated this location. And he's back mining gold. Beastie, he wants it. There's nothing going to stop him. He loses the cavalry in the end to the Streltsy. And cavalry, speaking of which, keep charging on in for the Chinese. Yeah, he never really chased down those villagers. Deterministic, he forgot about them. Beastie kept them safe and sound in the corner of the map. Streltsy though, moving on out. Hello? There they are, they're deploying now. Palace guards will get a couple of them for sure. No front shield for them, really. Is it going mass Streltsy? Which is a great unit on mass, to be fair, but he needs to get them together. Oh no, the raids keep coming on in. Deterministic, to be fair, has been able to keep up with the villager count. all things considered, considering the amount of raiding, he's done a good job of it. This is where things become a little bit tricky because he's got 4 bombards and he should be able to take out the Barbican. He might be going for a landmark snipe. That would be a nice attempt, actually. Could be a way to win the game, but just coming out to torch down Streltsy. You need to get there to protect the siege if you can. I think a landmark snipe is probably what Deterministic has as an option here. He's not going to be able to bleed the Chinese economy. All these farms working hard for him. Gonna take out the monastery, gonna take out villages. Wait. Looks like wait. Beastie, is he gonna go for the landmark snipe? Quite possibly. He's taking out bombards, taking out prized units for sure. I mean, to be fair, he won't have enough to really fully take out all the landmarks, but he's gonna make a start with the high armory. Militia have been drafted in for the roost. Palace guards switching out. Going into the left side, they're going to take out as many farms as possible. Around the front, bombards moving on in. He's going to go for the Barbican, it seems. Yeah, he's definitely going for the landmark snipe. You can sense it. And I think there's only one more, 2 more actually. No, I think it is only 1 more. Yeah, it is 1 more. And somehow Beastie's managed to get a bunch of elite spearmen and palace guards there around the back. He's just not been able to stop the flooding in of units. He's walled up again now. To try and hold houses in the north, just to make sure it doesn't get population capped. He's lost a couple of villages because of it. Causing that massive shortage of housing situations for the Chinese. But it's still a 200 population, which is actually kind of crazy to think about. Wait, there's only 1 landmark though, and it is the Great Wall Gatehouse. Beastie does have the option to drop down another Imperial Age landmark. Maybe that's the way to do it, because he's already got the Song Dynasty, he's already got the Wan Dynasty. He's going to have to try and fund the Spirit Way somehow. He's got plenty of food. To be fair, he can afford it. But he doesn't want to do it just yet. That's precious gold, you have to invest in it. It's difficult to break through the walls. He is torching down, but the Streltsy in the meantime are going to get some good value. They will ride on in, and it might be a big pick-off here actually. If he gets rid of the Streltsy, the siege will follow. Beastie, massive cleanup here. That's a good number of Streltsys taken out. Premium units for the roost on the west side. What is going on here? Hello, hello. Beastie says, hey, if you're going to try and landmark snipe me, I'm going to try and do the same. Good number of bombards though for Deterministic. He needs to make a play for the Great Wall Gatehouse. He's got to do it quickly. Look at the trail of destruction though left by the Chinese and Beastie, taking out so much of the farming economy. It's made it difficult for the roost to recover. Speaking of recovery, that recovery is in process though, so he's getting the forward production, he's making a move for the Great Wall Gatehouse, I think. He's got 4 rams so far. Deterministic. He smells something though. Hopefully he doesn't get fooled a second time. Oh, it's this mining camp. We saw it earlier being aggroing the Streltsy, and they're focused on this rather than this. So Beastie might run on in. What's going on the north? Wait, the villagers. Spirit Way, he's doing it. Yeah, he's going to get it. And this is really bad for Deterministic. He's going to find this hard to spot, right? He's not going to think about it. Oh, this is such a clutch play for Beastie. Even if he loses the Great Wall Gatehouse, it won't matter. Well, it might matter if the farms get denied, but... Surprising enough, by the way, the Streltsy will get taken down by the melee units for the Chinese, and this is actually looking disastrous for Deterministic. He has to deal with the rams. Down in the middle, though, he's making a move for the Great Wall Gatehouse, but even if he takes it out, he's probably going to be expecting to win, but it won't be the case. There's that landmark, and yeah, that's not ideal. He's going to have to go for a bit of a scouting mission to find out where that last landmark is. Going to take out the rams eventually. But it's going to idle a lot of villagers. It's going to take some time to do so. But he's extending the walls here, trying to make them work for him. Does have 4 bombards, by the way. In fact, 5 bombards. Should make short work of the Great Wall Gatehouse, although a couple of the bombards are a little bit weak. We're adding in the infantry here. BC trying to take as many villages as he can. The rams will go down. Just about keeps the high trade house alive, maybe, if he repairs. He doesn't repair it. Oh no, so he lost it, and he has to, if he does want to get it back, he has to repair it to his full health. Bombard Stoke. They take out the Great Wall Gatehouse, and they're possibly thinking... Oh, did he actually take it out? It's being repaired, actually, at the moment. Either way, it's not going to be enough, even if he does take it out. He needs to take out the Spirit Way in the north, which Beastyqt is hidden. And the units are just being a bit annoying for Beastie. He's kept a lot of villagers idled. Down to 85 villagers. So slowly but surely, Beastie can pump out units again. He should be able to find a way back into the game. Oh, he's searching for it. He's searching for it. But little does he know it's in the north, and even if he ventures out there, he's going to be met by a huge army coming out for Beastie. I think Beastie's going to go for the landmark snipe. This is dicey. He's running out of time. He's taken out the Barbican now. So it's just the Spirit Way remaining, but he's not going to find it in time, and Beastie's actually attacking from this side, which means that even if Deterministic does find it, he runs the risk of losing his own landmarks. It looks like it's going to happen. Beastie charging on in. He's got a ram, takes out the high armory. This is not looking good. After a really strong push in various parts of the game, Deterministic is at risk of losing this game. Only has 2 landmarks remaining. Already lost the high trade house, has lost the high armory, about to lose the Kremlin, about to lose the town centre. They keep going up as well. For Beastie, really solidifies that position, and he's got nothing in the tank anymore. Deterministic, I don't think he can fight this off. He's lost the Kremlin. All that remains is just 1 town centre, and after this massive game, 45 minutes almost in the game, what a way to lose it. He almost went for the landmark snipe, Deterministic, but he wasn't able to find the Spirit Way. And that might just be cracking his spirit, because he almost beat one of the best players in the game, but it will be Beastyqt taking the game on Lipany. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. An unfortunate unraveling events for Deterministic. He wasn't able to find the last landmark, but Beastie coming with the clutch play with the landmark snipe with the sneaky Spirit Way in the north. Hopefully hasn't cracked Deterministic's spirit. Hope you guys enjoyed this casted game on YouTube. If you did, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Take care, and see you next time.